Face detail technique A. This is really important to take in consideration the eyes, the line eyes, and this is the outcome. Cute. So for technique 1, you're gonna use the wood hoop. And you're gonna use the patterns, okay? You're gonna cut the face pattern in the fabric, but you're not gonna sew this face. You're just gonna pin at the back of the doll that you just felt. You're gonna use the circular markers to mark the place of the eye. Is not a very easy process when you're doing for the first time, but after with practice you'll find the right spot. Try until you feel comfortable with the spot that you pick, like this one. Then you're gonna unpin, and you're gonna mark the eyes with a pin so they don't move. And after, you're gonna put this fabric in the wood hoop, and you're gonna start embroidering. Is very, very important that when you put the fabric in the wood hoop, that is you put in a way that's really firm, okay? So it's gonna help a lot when doing the embroidery, to do the eyes and to do the eyebrows. It is really, really important. So at this stage, you know, that's what you have to do, to keep the pins, you know, securing the place of the future eyes, and put the fabric in a way that's really firm in the wood hoop. Okay, now you're gonna start to work with the embroidery thread. To do the eyes, the best technique is to divide the thread in two, the way I'm doing now in the video, okay? Why? Because it doesn't it gets really a fine, the result is going to be a fine work, and it's much easier also to embroidery when you do this. It's very easy to divide. You divide in two, you cut, you prepare a fine needle to embroidery, and you're gonna use the full stitch that we practice at the beginning to do this work. So you divide, you give a knot at the end, and you're gonna start to embroider. Sometimes you do the embroidery more than one time. If you're not happy with the result, you can again do on top of what you did, and you also can use different colors to do this work. I start with small stitches, and then I cover everything, and before I cover everything I remove the circular markers. It's do this work as in a quiet place, no hurry, because the eyes are really important. When you see the doll, the first thing that you see is the eyes. So really, really important. At some point, you're gonna remove the pin because it's not gonna be necessary anymore. And after, you remove the circular markers. And this is technique A. And when we finish the technique A, you're gonna see there's another technique, the other one. You're gonna do the face, the face is you're gonna do the embroidery direct at the doll. So you're gonna sew the pattern of the face at the back, and you're gonna fit the fabric at the doll, and then you're gonna embroider it. But you're gonna see this in details after. I prefer this one. I think it's, for me, it's better, and it's something that you need to discover by yourself, which technique you feel more comfortable. I like this one. I think you can play more and do more details with the embroidery. I usually put white, at the corner of the eyes, but you can do the way you want. See over here, I remove the circular markers, and I'm about to finish the first eye. Do until you feel comfortable with the result. When you're done, you're just gonna give a knot at the back and prepare to do a little bit more in the eye, so your eye is gonna have an expression. Is so important, the eyes in the doll. See, this eye is almost done. I'm gonna do the eyebrow. I'm gonna use the invisible pen. I think it's really good if you do that, because it's easy to do mistakes at this stage, and if you do, you probably gonna have to cut another piece of fabric and redo it, because it's the face, right? So I'm doing this really, I can see the pen where the eyebrows are, and I'm gonna use back stitch to do this job now. Again, this is something that sometimes I do twice. I do the first layer, and then I do a second layer to be really strong, to show really the way I want. I usually as you can see, the thread is the one that we divide, okay? Again, to have the same result, a fine, clean, looks nice. So it's really important at this stage that everything that we do is clear, is the best you can. If it's your first time and the result is not the way you want, you can try again, or you can try again in the second doll, but I know that you're gonna be happy because you're creating something, and even if it's not perfect the first time, eventually will be. See, over here we have the eye and we have the eyebrow. Now I'm gonna use another type of thread. Is kind of a crochet one, and it's white. So I'm gonna do this sides, the corner of the eye. I'm gonna do one stitch in each one, just to make a little bit of contrast and look a little nicer. The same technique. You put a line and you give a knot, and you go to the corner of the eye, and it's just one stitch, and you're gonna tie at the back and clean up the excess, so the result looks really fine. Over here I'm using a crochet, so the needle that I'm using is a little bit more bigger, right? See the result is a little, just one stitch, and you change the eye completely. A knot, and it's done, this side.